Hello.
Just a second. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, I was getting everything set up, so I'm trying to get everybody called. Let me go back. Okay, got you. Now you can, if you'll get the others, we'll be set. Okay, I'm back.
Right?
Hi guys.
I
We
heard
won't
someone
be.
come in.
Yeah, we won't be on this channel. We'll be on a conference call, which is a different feed entirely. Now, Apple will be calling you like I did on Gore a moment ago. He's trying to
It
Okay.
get.
sounds like Apple's having tech issues. Do
Yeah.
you want me to make the calls?
Yes, I'm thinking maybe you should. Let me tell him. Okay, so you'll need to log out of here and call everybody directly on a conference call. Everybody drop out
All
of
right.
voice.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Why
Okay,
do I
let
not?
me call the others.
Okay, there's the feed.
Okay, looks like I did it wrong.
Yeah, I was having problems. It was when I was calling the others. I think what you do is you call them
Oh,
and
do
then
you
you
need to have like a pro account to do
No,
the
no, we did it the
group
other day.
call?
No, we did it the other day. You go ahead and make a call, and I believe then you reconnect by clicking join call once you have the other person up. Try it.
Okay, let me try that again. Huh.
Not
So I
working?
went back to the message with you and hit join call, and that dropped Mike, who I had there.
Why is this? Let me see
Let's
what
see.
we had them all up the other day with no problem at all, and none of us had pro accounts.
Okay, hold up. I think I might see it. Okay, let me try this.
There we go.
Progress.
What did you do to
Um,
get them up?
There's a little thing like add friends to DM in the
I saw
upper
that.
right of the screen.
That's it. Okay,
I
direct. Okay,
think I
add to
need
direct
to.
message. Yeah.
Hey, I need to friend Lynn here.
I got her. I sent one.
You're okay.
Jason said he wasn't going to be here on time, and I don't have Gore, so.
No, we're set. Don't worry,
I'll
Mike.
try to add him.
I've got him. People have got him. It's no problem. If you want me to try and DM him, that's fine.
I got it.
Somebody got it. I tried, and you tried, and he probably got 3 requests at once.
How?
Girlfriend mode for the win.
Alright.
He's just that popular. Okay, let me swap this over and see what I've got. It looks like we're just going to have images up, so I'll be overlaying.
Trying to make sure that my push to talk doesn't interfere with Roll20 for whatever reason. Otherwise, it's like, I just have to keep muting my microphone.
With all the problems tonight with this, maybe. All right, welcome all. We are live for our first stream. We don't know how this is going to go. This is probably going to be a nightmare event, but it ought to be fun for anybody that's watching. We are running Curse of Strahd, if you don't know, and we are trying to set up all our things, so there will be a few situations where stuff does not compute quite like we want it to, but we'll do our best.
I can barely see one person. And then
I-
someone looks.
Yes, I think Apo is the serial killer from hell, and Riz is the one with the dark camera.
We are
I thought it was
live.
Other way
here.
around, actually.
We
Do you
are
like my low budget Victor costume?
Oh, okay. I got it
all right.
backwards.
So it's not Kyle. That's Victor. Let me swap these titles around then. Didn't realize we were going to have Victor live, so that's great.
Yes, I do like the Victor costume. I'll have to get a chainmail coif for when I get my webcam up.
Okay, now I've got Apo up. You're pretty dark there, Apo, but we'll see. I frequently refer to Epotus or Kyle as Apo. Some of you may know him from World of Warcraft. He's fairly well known in World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2, which is where I met him back in World of Warcraft days. I got involved in his great RP, and the rest is history. I invited him to my D&D games, and we've been having a lot of fun with our RP. All right, I now have Riz where he belongs, Mike, Sylvia. I think I've got everybody pretty much where they belong. We will be missing Jason tonight. Excuse me. Jason had a family medical emergency, and he is taking care of a wife who had a bit of a problem. So we wish her well and hope she gets up and going soon, and we hope to have him either later tonight or next week, depending on what circumstances are.
We
I'm
sent
So,
him
in,
on the stream, our portraits are still reversed.
right. Thank you for noticing that.
Sorry, but up I had to go take care of something.
And I'm a 70-year-old DM who's been DMing since almost day one of D&D. I was one of the down the stream guinea pigs for Gary Gygax when he advertised for people to come on board to test his new game system, and spent many a night laying far too late on dorm floors and nearly flunking out. Have been addicted ever since, have been playing for almost 50 years, DMing for around 30. So it's been quite an experience for me as I've gone through all the various editions of D&D. I've rounded up this crowd of misfits, which are great people that I've met over the years through the various MMOs, or in the case of Mike/Vlad, he's actually my grandson. I am infecting another generation of D&Ders. So I'll let these people tell you who they are and what they're doing. Let's start with Riz Victor.
Ah, I thought I was going to be last again. You got me off guard. But yeah, so I am Riz, also known as Riz, and I one day in middle school, a friend of mine was passing around a D&D 3rd edition player's handbook, and looking at the weapons page, people were thinking about making characters for him to run a campaign. And I, being a little shit, said, yeah, I might play this game if, it had Sice, but, I guess it doesn't, so yeah. And then they were like, oh, no, it actually does. Let me turn the page over here. And I'm like, shit. And that's how I began role-playing and playing D&D, and I've pretty much been doing one or the other ever since. I play Victor Crone, who is also known as the Wild Man of the Marsh. He's a mysterious figure that has served in local militia together with D-Rock. And the party recently learned, partway into our adventure together, that Victor is actually a vampire made such by one of the creatures from this land. And they are kind of learning to cope with that fact, which is more difficult for some than others.
Yes, that was discovered in our last excitement-filled episode, where we also purchased the little vampire puppet that you see up there on the screen, which was quite interesting. D-Rock, also known as Brett, give us a little background on you.
Hey, before I actually do they see our icons from Discord?
Yes, they see both. No, they're seeing an overlay in your case.
Okay.
They're seeing
Okay. I didn't
Green,
want to
Green Bay
explain
in your
the sexy
case.
Tauren.
No, they're seeing.
I didn't want to explain sexy Gore Totem. But yeah, so I'm Gore / Derrock / Brett. You're cracking me up, Kyle.
Sorry, kids. There's no wrecking ball for you today.
But yeah, so I'm new to D&D. I have roleplayed for a good portion of 15 years, but D&D is new to me. The Curse of Strahd is my first attempt at this. So far, so good. I haven't died yet.
Wait till I get through with you.
Yeah, right. I don't really know what else to say.
That's good.
Don't worry, only one more level and I'll get Revivify.
we met him on WoW, and the rest is history. Mike or Vlad,
Yeah.
I'll let him pronounce his full name as his character.
Okay, so my actual name is Mike. I go by Mink a lot just because there are so many people with my name out there. It's a little way to specify who I am in particular. Like our wonderful GM here said, I am her grandson. She got me into D&D about 2.5 years ago, and I've occasionally dipped my toes into Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft, like I said, on occasion. As you're about to find out, I have a thing for making characters with extremely complicated names, unnecessarily so. My current one is named Vladislav Iltaziara, and it took me 1 or 2 tries for me to be able to say that without stuttering. He is a life cleric who helped at a young age to form the Dawn Guard with our Dragonborn POTUS, and is now currently in Barovia trying to melt vampires.
Very
With the
good.
exception of, hopefully, with the exception of Krim, of your old wolf.
Hopefully.
And
you're
we'll
dead.
move up to Kyle, who's also known in this world as a POTUS, or Apophon. He just went to his Apophon symbol. He's maybe having trouble with his video. There he comes.
Oh, can you see me now?
Yep, we can see you now. We can hear you now.
That was fun.
Nope, totally
Sorry, John Cena.
Okay, tell us about you, Apophon / Kyle / Apotus.
You have many names, but I need only one. My name is Kyle. I know a lot of these people from various RP locations and groups, such as WoW, Guild Wars 2, and more recently, particularly Fate and I began running D&D games together, and been having fun ever since. I mostly run cults on various games. My character is Epotus Evdomintaexi. He is a dragonborn paladin who formed the Dawn Watch with Vlad some years back, and we're a holy mercenary group that goes out and smites the baddies for some good old change.
And last but not least tonight is Lynn, who plays Sylvia, our bard. Tell us about you, Lynn, since Jason won't be here tonight.
So much to say, so little time to say it in. What to say? Role playing for about 20 plus years. Got into D&D because of Critical Role. I have no soul and no life. I know pretty much everyone from the last campaign. Some of you guys used to be my so frenemies and one ally. So yeah, that makes it kind of weird. You know, two enemies, one ally in this entire thing. Also, I shall never be pictured. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, no webcam service on my face. Thank you.
Oh well, we'll just have to live
We're
with the cat.
convincing yet.
Nope, you got my cat. It's close enough. It's my house.
I mean,
Some
that
of
works
you
for
get-
me.
She stole my seat.
Some of you get to see Lynn live. She sometimes is working at various Comic Cons and what have you, so she's around in the crowd a lot.
Oh yeah. WonderCon, Comic Con. Went to BlizzCon once. That was great. I want to go back.
Yeah, that would be
Damn
fun.
$200 ticket. Damn $200 tickets.
Yeah, that's a little out of my budget too. So welcome to all who's actually listening to our stream. Last time, as the little blurb says in the corner, we had a few escapades. They got trapped basically because they decided to go on an escapade to solve a problem for the local church, and they in the process discovered there were a bunch of vampire spawn there, which they weren't expecting. Who'd expect vampire spawn in a coffin shop? And they wound up having quite a battle, which delayed them considerably, and they were not able to get out of town in a timely fashion to get around Baron Valakovich's determination that they are going to be his show and tell for the evening. He is very much determined that the Dawn Watch will be there because they support Lathander, and he's trying to use Lathander more as a background for his cheering people on and his best festival of the year, which they all are, this one being the Festival of the Burning Sun. So we pick up as they are finishing up in Blintzky's toy shop. His stock line that you see on all the toys is no fun, is no Blintzky. And they found some very unusual toys in this shop. Seemed like everyone they picked up was stranger than the last. But they were fascinated, first of all, by a bat and ball, the ball being a wicker woven ball, which for some reason was supposed to be handed out at the festival. You're not quite sure why. It's tied to a kind of a bat arrangement or club arrangement. And they bought it for Dirok because Dirok the orc had no experience with play. And so they decided they were going to buy him a toy, convinced him that it was for developing hand and eye coordination. So he is happily bouncing his bat and ball as they leave the shop. Meanwhile, the others also found a ventriloquist dummy or hand puppet kind of thing of Strahd himself. Fascinated by it, they decided to purchase it. And I believe Lynn or Sylvia has it in her possession, if I'm not wrong.
So we're gonna turn that into her spellcasting focus, right?
Yes, I
Yes.
believe you've got a mage in mind who might be able to do that. Yes.
Would he do that even though I killed all of his cats?
See, Sylvia is very persuasive.
I know. I can't. And intimidating, apparently.
Yeah, you killed all of his skeleton cats. I'm not sure if there aren't cats disappearing from the village again. We'll see if there's any more of them when you get back. So here you are in Blintzky's shop, and Blintzky is happily wrapping up or doing whatever you need with your various purchases that you made. What's your plan?
Well,
Your bag.
for multiple reasons, we need to go to, and this is OOC, for multiple reasons, we need to go back to the mayor's manor.
Yeah, because of that Irania doll.
You only
Yes,
have
one of-
probably an hour and a half before the festival begins.
Should be enough time.
Yeah,
While we're
nothing's
there,
gonna
we
happen.
Oh, were we looking to talk to him, or are we looking to talk to his
Bulldog.
gorilla? I was gonna go with gorilla, but yeah.
Isaac is the one who was ordering the arena dolls. By the way, for anyone who may or may not be viewing, we have found someone that the main bad guy Strahd has a great interest in. Her name is Irina. This doll, Isaac What's-His-Face, who is working for the Baron, has been putting in great amounts of orders for these dolls who look exactly like Irina, who hadn't gone into town more than 2 days ago.
Yes, the dolls have been ordered for probably a couple of months. If you investigate, you'd probably find out more about how long, but basically it boils down to the dolls have been made for some time. There was one in the shop which caught your attention, and that one was ordered just a couple of days ago, about the time you came into town. Each one of the dolls, Blintzky says, he had improvements on, that he wanted changes made apparently to make it more like her.
Yeah, because that's not creepy at all.
Not
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
no, not at all.
Yeah, so that's the primary reasons we need to go back to the mayor's manor. One, for you to talk to his son, so that you can get that puppet into an arcane focus, and two, to talk to the hound.
Yeah. So how are we gonna split that up? Do we want to like all go to after the one guy just in case he's a total dick?
I mean,
Or
we
We know he's a total dick.
We already know
I
he
mean,
is.
even more so than usual. I mean, I don't know. Bad vibes. Bad vibes.
If our GM wasn't our GM, I would say we could split up, and some of us could talk to Isaac, and some of us could go get your arcane focus. However, our GM is our GM, so I would say
Yes,
that's
but
probably a
if
bad
our
idea.
if our GM wasn't our GM, we'd probably be dead in the shop right now. But that's beside the point.
No, I'm going to specifically say because no, no splitting up.
We're not going to
Don't
Scooby Gang
you
this.
know?
No,
Okay,
no,
so
let's not
No horse
Scooby this.
picking. No
Let's
horse
No
go.
person picking.
Let's go. Oh, let's go talk to the guy. And let's go talk to the sun. Get your arcane focus at least,
I mean,
and
he can- I
then
mean-
we can go track down Isaac.
We
Let's
can
see if
do
we can
Isaac.
get him to downgrade to a slightly less creepy body pillow.
No, I say let's do Isaac first because he's probably going to, if it takes too much time at the Suns right now, we'll lose the opportunity window to go talk to Isaac, and we only have an hour before he's probably got to be somewhere near the mayor or the Baron, anyways. So Isaac first.
All right, Isaac first.
What's the importance of this arcane crystal?
That's what she
Oh,
uses to cast spells.
I
She
don't have
already
the
has one.
evidence. Yeah, it's just
But
one of those fun time
it's-
things.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, I can see that.
A mage,
It's not something that we need to do. It's just something that we want to do.
a mage type is able to, for those who don't know, mage type is able to cast spells more easily if they have an arcane focus, because they don't have to carry around quite so many materials for their focus.
Brilliant.
And she has decided that since she is going to keep this thing in her possession,
Wonderful thing.
yeah, she's not going to let it out of her possession. She has decided that she's going to have it made into an arcane focus so that she is able to keep it with her and use it for several purposes.
Can I just mage hand hold that thing the entire combat time so it's like floating at my side? That would be fucking awesome!
I mean, that you could. It would take your action every time.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Anyway, to the manor.
To the manor. Okay, so as a thing, I since I'm also watching the stream too, I can see all the pages in the background.
Oh yeah, I mean you can when I open it up. That's just something that,
Yeah, I was
that
like,
happens.
I was like, wait a second, this is shit I shouldn't be seeing.
No, that's no problem. You
Yeah,
can see all the.
that's why I closed the stream.
I decided to try and watch the chat. I see you people.
Yeah, it's not a problem to see the selection of maps. Mostly, I don't have a lot of things on there except when we need. All right, so you guys.
No worries, I didn't want to ruin any surprises.
No, I've got it set up in such a way that things that I need to hide, I will have hidden. So don't worry about it. And I have many
Okay.
ways to hide things from you.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, you arrive back and you find an absolute pandemonium going on of people rushing in and out. There is some kind in like the walled yard to the side. There's probably 30 people inside the walled yard rushing around doing something. You can see something having to do with those wicker sticks that you found in the entryway once before when you were there. It is part of what's going on, and maids are rushing to and fro out of the front door. As you try to get up to the door, you're basically shoved aside by people who are frantically rushing around, and you also notice streams of little children, some of them just enjoying themselves and running around, and some of them standing very sedately and a little bit intimidated by the whole mess, and all of them dressed in these corny flower outfits. They look like, the little waving sunflowers and what have you that you might expect in a corny play.
Victor pauses at the entrance and says, perhaps I should wait here.
That would probably be a good idea.
One,
Are they setting the kids on fire? Because I want to kind of. I mean, what?
one of the maids sees you and stops and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. What part of the play do you have? Can I help you get to where you need to be?"
It's we are not here. We are not part of the play.
Oh,
We instead have business with. I forgot his title.
The Burgermeister,
Isaac.
whatever.
We
The
instead have
Burgermeister Burger.
business with Isaac.
You know, the big boss dude up here. The guy who owns the
Oh,
place.
Mr.
Lurch.
Strasny? I don't know where he is. He's getting ready as well. I believe he's tending the horses for the Baron and the Baroness. They're decorating them all in flowers, and it's going to be so beautiful. And she has that fake grin on her face that you come to just hate.
Yes. Well, where are these horses?
They'll be around there in the backyard, and she waves at where all the absolute pandemonium is going on in the back.
Rob looks at Sylvia and says, "Are you sure we don't want to visit the mage first?"
You want to try getting in there? Cause no, that's okay. We can hold off on trying to get through this.
Their Excel fails using this ball in battle.
Yeah, no. Trying to get through that and then 2 him is gonna be nuts. Let's hold off.
That's what I wanted to do in the first place.
No, I mean
That's the mage. The mage. Let's go to the
yeah,
mage.
the mage. No,
Let's
not
go
the
to the
mage.
sun.
The other one.
No, that's where he points towards all this pandemonium. Says that is where I can never remember his last name. Isaac Strasny?
Strasny. Isaac
Strasny. That is where Strasny is.
Wait, I thought he was by the horses. Are we
And the
going
horses
not
are
well?
over there.
Then let's go over there, away from over here.
Let's
Too much talking, not enough
Just-
doing.
go. Just go.
So you walk over to the stone fence that surrounds, and the gates are open. Like the house, people are running back and forth. And as you step through the stone fence, you can see that what they are doing with the wicker. They have woven a ball that is probably 10 feet in diameter, a large open wicker ball. You can see branches sticking out and so forth. And they are rolling it around the yard and getting ready. A bunch of people are standing ready to handle it, apparently. And several of the children are taking up places around the ball and so forth in their flower costumes. You see the 2 elegant horses who are wearing like a blanket of more or less knitted flowers that they're wearing over them. Again, very much a flower theme that has been draped over it. The Baroness is standing near one horse with an armful of wilted flowers that she is holding as if they are the most elegant flowers in the world. She, of course, in her usual manner, has her silly, pasted on grin like all will be well. The Baron is issuing commands to everyone, and standing behind them with his arms crossed, looking like he is just waiting to bring his fist down on anybody that doesn't follow instructions. You see Isaac Strasny.
Does someone else want to take this?
Hell no, you can talk.
Okay. Sorry, I had to cough. Vlad, as soon as he starts seeing Isaac, starts walking towards the Baron, the wife, and Isaac. I'm trying to pull my character sheet up to get notes. He walks up, offers his hand to the Baron, and says, "Baron Velakovich, it is good to see you again."
Oh, yes, very good. I'm so glad you will be here. You will make this festival absolutely wonderful. I cannot imagine what could have made it better. We will announce you to the whole village.
Let's hold off on that. First,
Perfect.
before that, if you don't mind us borrowing Mr. Strasny here for a second, we would like to have a word with him.
Oh, yes, he's right over there. Go ahead, go ahead. I must get the children ready.
Vlad does a kind of head bob as a bow, and then slides past the Baron to go to Isaac. As he's walking up to Isaac, he reaches into his pouch and pulls out the Irina doll, and just stands there with it in his hand.
Did you manage to thief that right, or I don't know?
No,
Did you roll that?
I said last session I would take it to Isaac.
No,
For the
no, you
guy.
don't have it. He absolutely refused. He held it
Yeah.
back. He would not
Oh.
allow you to have it because Strasny,
That's why I was
Oh.
double
in his
checking
words,
if you.
So
yeah.
he goes into his pouch and pulls out nothing.
Right. In Blintzky's words, Strasny will have my head.
You
Yeah.
can always use like minor illusion or something.
I don't have minor illusion.
Then you're going to have
looking
to
at it, I
tell
do
him
have-
what you
Well, then
found.
frickin' do it, you damn Bart.
No, we brought the real Arena. Hey, we found out that you're making dolls that look
Let's
like exactly
not.
like this person.
Let's
No,
Hey, we
not.
got the real Strahd too.
No, I'm actually going to use the Strahd puppet and minor illusion it to make it look like the arena doll.
Okay.
And I'm
So
just gonna like kind of like hover behind you, just holding it in arm, like it's a piece of glass.
So Vlad will look over his shoulder at that, and then is Isaac paying attention to us, or is he just doing whatever he was doing?
He's looking at you like, what are you doing bothering him? But he is looking at you.
So knowing that the doll is now illusioned to be like the arena doll, he jerks his thumb over his shoulder at the doll and says, "Do you care to explain this?"
What are you doing with that?
This is what
Asking-
we would like to know.
Yes, very much so.
That is my
There are
possession. That
rules.
does not belong to you.
That is
Oh, we'll
incorrect. We
totally
just
hand
bought
over.
this not too long ago.
I will
There are rules
have
to
the
being
toy
fond of
master's head.
Sylvia.
I
You will
kill
not.
him personally.
No,
You
you're
will
not.
not.
You are in
See-
our village.
And you... I'm starting to suspect that you serve the devil with this doll you have been making.
That doll is because of my nightmares. It is not your business what I have for nightmares.
We
I,
are fight...
I want to chance this, but can I roll an intimidation against this guy?
Do it.
You can try.
Victor will perk up at the mention of nightmares.
You're taking my shtick, man.
Yes,
You've been
Sylvia
learning
is
well.
so
Your POTUS is so proud.
intimidating. How tall is she?
I am going to reload
Sylvia is
roll 20. because I'm not gonna lie.
5'2", 5'4" She's short. She's as short as I am in
And
person.
he's probably 6'5".
Yeah, but damn that +6.
Do you want to take over talking?
I just wanted to do one thing, but I kind of wanted to roll the intimidation check for
Go
it.
ahead
But
and roll your
I just want to make
intimidation.
okay. Let's see how fucked up this gets. Ain't not bad.
It's not bad if it was up against anybody but he's Strasny. He looks down at you as you grimace up at him and try to look like you're all that, and he just laughs and he says, "Puny girl,
I just puff up like a
go away and leave me alone. It is not your business whether I have nightmares or not. I have other things to do."
We are guarding someone who just entered your town, and we are looking to get her to safety. Now you either answer our questions or
Well.
else.
He turns slowly and looks right at you, Sylvia.
Well, now
What?
there's not much.
What
Evade.
do you mean she is in our town?
Well, see,
I said we were guarding someone. I didn't say.
and he puts his hand over Sylvia's face, much like she did to him in the toy maker shop.
She's gonna
Said
bite
that's a
him.
bitch.
And then she bites him.
Roll athletics. He's giving his hand there.
Yeah, yeah,
Would
okay.
be athletics or a strength check for jaw?
It would be either athletics or acrobatics. Hold up.
Hey, you did not grapple her.
Oh man. Okay,
Well,
so
roll,
Almost there.
roll,
So she's
Sylvia, and see if
slapped
you
my
get a
hand again.
6.
so I'm rolling acrobatics or athletics on this.
Either your choice.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I rolled a yeah. You just duck under my hand as
She
it
just
comes.
bounced right
by
out
this
of your way.
close
She's
enough.
seen worse
Pretty
things
much,
than
yeah.
that.
We are not telling you anything else until you are telling us about this nightmare. We can withhold information just as much as you can. However, if you work with us, everything will go smoother.
He shrugs. I have other things to do, but I would tell you as if it is your business. It isn't. For many years I have had a nightmare. I am adopted. I do not know my parents and I do not understand. But I know I was told by Madame Eva that I had a sister. And I have dreamed of her for all my life. And this, and he pokes the doll, this, and then he blinks as he touches the doll because what happens when he touches with the illusion?
Nothing happened. Basically becomes transparent. He realizes it's an illusion.
He
Yeah,
blinks.
but
Yeah,
there's still a doll there. There's
Yes.
still something there. It's just
Yeah, he
not
kind
that
of-
particular item.
he blinks as the doll turns into the Strahd puppet, and he blinks and frowns. He goes, I
Gotcha.
saw the woman like that doll you had before. Where is it? It is not here.
Soap
What?
shop.
Why do you have my nightmare? She is the sister that Madame Eva says I lost.
Madame Eva.
Yes, Madame Eva.
Remind me. Madame Eva was the
Tarot
the,
card reader.
Us trinkets.
yes, them. Vlad turns to the rest of them and says, "If he is, we may be able to trust him because of Madame Eva.
But can we really trust her?
We don't know yet. That is the problem.
I don't really trust any of the gypsies. They are all trouble. But I had to find out what my nightmares meant, and so I went to her. Do not tell the Baron he does not want any of them in the wheelie.
You are not the only one that has been to Madame
Don't.
Eva.
Yeah, don't worry. We got you. We just wanted answers, that's all.
This is all I want too. You say this woman is here? I need to meet her.
I never said she was here. I said we were guarding someone. Didn't say it was her. We just happened to see someone who looked like her before.
He looks at you very suspiciously.
I will roll that deception check happily.
Very good. Yeah, he believes you.
Woohoo!
Bards for the win!
Love being the bard.
And he just crosses his arms and he goes, now, I have a festival to get ready. There are many things to do. You know why I have the dolls. Leave me alone.
God damn, I'm rolling everything low tonight. Vlad will nod and then simply turn and walk away. And assuming that everyone else is walking with him,
I'm gonna stay.
once
I'm gonna lag behind for a second, just to do one last thing at this guy.
Yeah,
But
Victor.
You finish before you finish what you're doing.
as he's walking away, he will turn to whoever's behind him and says, if Irina is really his sister, I don't see... it might be worth it to take him to her. He would then be indebted to us.
This is kind of us as a group after he's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't trust him.
Nor do I.
He's not the type of person that we would want hanging around Arena.
Since I lagged behind a minute, I'm gonna look up at him and like, look, hey, nightmares really suck. Trust me, been there, done that. Hate the whole ordeal. After all this festival thing, we should talk. Let's talk. Just you and me.
It looks like they're actually getting ready to start the procession towards the square. The Baroness and Baron are climbing on their horses. A bunch of people are gathering around the big wicker ball and starting to hoist it up into the air to carry it. And all the little kiddies are motioned up to the front of the procession. At the very beginning, they will be leading the whole way. Strozny continues to cross his arms at the back. He apparently is going to bring up the rear.
Yeah, she'll leave him. She'll leave him as it starts to get ready, and it's like, I'll find you later, and then just keeps going and hurries after the group.
Very good. You get up. You are heading now for the square, or what are you going to do? You going to follow with the procession, or go to the square?
Oh no, I'm catching up with my party, and then
But
where
I'm saying,
you
what
guys
is
are
the
going
party?
where?
How is the party proceeding to where the festival?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because Epotus and Vlad are both part of the Dunwatch, so they might be expected to be in the parade itself.
Yes,
However,
sir.
we can also play it.
Well, yeah.
That's what you wanna do?
Technically, they just want the Dawn Watch. They don't want necessarily the whole group, because we could just be super legalistic about it and be like, no, they don't get these three people don't get to walk with us.
Yeah, Victor
Okay.
will happily
Yeah, sure.
stay out of the spotlight.
Sure, we could do that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
no,
you're.
I'll stick in the crowd and watch for shit.
So the three
So I guess,
formal Dawn Watch members are processing with the group, and the others will go ahead to the square. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Very good. You go ahead to the square, and those of you who arrive ahead of the others, you see quite a gathering in the square. The square is the area where the stocks were. As you arrive, the first thing that catches your eye right away is the fact that Heinrich van der Voort is in the stocks. You see him thoroughly penned up and hanging from the stocks. The other three people are
And
still in the
Derek makes
stocks
a
as well.
beeline for him.
Derek, wait!
Are we still with Derek at this point?
Is Derek a member of the Dawn Watch? The non-Dawn Watch people are going ahead.
Okay, so we've already separated then.
That's right.
Yeah, Victor will say to Dirac, Dirac, what are you doing? That kind of
Derek is not even listening.
Epotus goes to tackle Dira.
We aren't there anymore. That's what I was checking.
Give me
What
a
are you
grapple
doing?
check.
Oh yeah. So what is it? Oh shit. So what am I doing? Athletics?
Yeah, you're
Or
doing your
do I
strength
strength saves roll?
strength or dexterity save.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Well, what about a strength save throw?
It's not a save. It's a check. Your athletics versus
Yeah,
my athletics versus your athletics or acrobatics. Your choice.
yeah, you can use that. Yeah.
Damn.
He
So
tackled you
so
down.
Epotus just grabs. Yeah, it's like, Derek,
What are you doing?
we had a plan, man.
Can't
Now-
break the plan.
Hold on just a second and let me get the positioning right. The Dawn Watch members are not in the square yet. The Dawn Watch
Yeah, I
members.
thought we were still on the way to the square.
Yeah, you are like just starting out from the Baron's Manor. You're marching up the street towards the square, or down around the U actually that goes to it. The three members, I believe, would that be Alex, Sylvia, and who? No, Alec
Victor, I
is
think.
Dawn Watch. Who is not Dawn Watch?
I think
Dawn
it's
Watch?
just Sylvia.
No,
Yes.
Sylvia, Derek, and Victor are not Dawn Watch.
Oh, you were.
No,
Nope.
But
He's
we're
part of
we're
the-
just militia.
Yeah,
Okay.
Victor and D-Rock were part of the militia that hired us to come deal with some lizards.
Got it.
All right, then that role is negated because Epotus is not there.
No.
Oh wait, I
So
thought
that's
that
what
we
we-
were all together still.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, that's
No,
that's
we're
that's where the
not.
mistake came in.
That's what I was
Okay.
checking earlier.
Yeah,
All
that's,
right.
that's why I'm clarifying.
I
that.
wasted 2 20s on that.
Aw,
Good. You won't have them to roll when I need you not to.
Hey, I'm glad I've wasted my low rolls on
Hey.
Isaac.
You know what? For my fears, I just need you to roll low, okay?
All right, so then
So
I guess
what is
Derek
Derek
is still
doing?
making his beeline.
Wait.
Uh,
I got it.
Victor is going to look D-Rock in the eyes and say, D-Rock, wait.
wisdom save, huh?
Yes.
I hate everyone. Why did no one let me go after Heinrich?
Because we don't want to get
We
arrested.
have a plan. Oh, not all of that, dude. He's charmed for what? 24 hours. Holy
Yeah.
crap!
24 hours. Vampires, baby.
He's going to be a
Oh.
good boy for 24 hours.
I wasn't even. Here's the thing. I wasn't even planning to like kill him or anything. I was just gonna like slap him or something.
You no, your
Too soon.
history has proven otherwise.
Well, no, because Derek remembers we do have a plan. Go after the hag first, then go after
You
Heinrich.
should have
He was
said
gonna like
that.
taunt him and say, you know, I'm gonna ask the Baron to chop off your head myself or something like that.
You do
Guys
notice,
ruined my plan again.
Yes.
The three
Derek
of
does
you-
not get any fun. All right,
Victor,
fine.
Victor
Derek,
will let you slap him. You just can't kill him.
fine. Derek is
Yeah.
gonna go back to his ball and paddle.
Hey,
Here,
you're
let's
just-
do a
you're
tech
just-
check. Yep, I still suck at it. Don't worry.
you do notice, Derek, in spite of the fact that you suddenly decided you don't really feel like doing anything to him, you do notice that he's getting a lot of attention from the villagers. A lot of people are standing around and pointing at him, laughing, gossiping, talking about him, and he's not looking like a happy coffin maker at the moment. So he is getting humiliated pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, but that's not death.
You notice
Death is absolute. Humiliation's only temporary.
yeah, well, that may come later. But for now, they've got him in the
And
stock.
and as we know right now, yep, Derek is gonna get humiliated because of that awful wisdom save and then
Ball and
that
paddle
awful ball and paddle thing.
When you have to keep the party
where's
from
Alex
killing
when I need him?
NPCs. He's off getting us donuts.
There's a
He's
lot
like
of.
that
NPC
You also
nobody cares
notice
about.
there are a lot of guards in the square. The square is just filled with contingents of guards. They are keeping an eye on everybody. Some of them are lined up in a large rank and file behind a captain wearing some very fancy dress armor that looks like it's about 200 years old and moth-eaten. The captain himself doesn't look like he's hardly old enough to shave, so probably he got the job because he knows somebody. They're lined up and keeping an eye on
Oh, excuse
people.
me.
And you, although most of the people have arrived, you see the Mardikovs from the inn. Richtoff arrives, rather dragging his feet a little bit. He's not happy to be there, but he's making the best of it. Various things are going on. The people that you've met are coming and going and are making an appearance in the square. And coming in rather pointedly late, like she is trying to make an issue of the fact, is a hatchet-faced, rather imperious-looking noblewoman who is peering down her nose at all the plebeians around her. She
I'm going to guess that's the Watcher woman.
She's leading an entourage of well-to-do citizens who flutter around her like sycophants, the typical kinds of followers that you might expect. And behind them follow a group of
I'm
servants.
getting deja vu.
including 3 giggling maids, a man dressed as a cook, and one with the stuffy air of a valet. Walking beside her is a rather smarmy-looking middle-aged male with a goatee and a fur hat that's tipped rakishly to one side. He seems more interested in watching your group than the festival itself. He is,
Our group specifically.
yes, he is keeping an
Aren't
eye
we
on
two
the 3
groups
of
right
you.
now?
He's keeping an eye on the 3 of you that are in the square. He apparently has some idea that either you are strangers or that he is interested in you for some reason. What specifically do you need to know, Victor?
Which group of us?
It's us,
Me.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the 3 of you that are in the square awaiting the procession. They're keeping an eye on. You also
Yeah,
notice.
Victor would let Dirok go and slap I forget the guy's name, but the
Heinrich.
coffin maker or whatever.
Henrik van der
To let
Hoff.
off a bit of steam, you just not let him kill him or anything. You
Yeah,
just
but
say,
I'm charmed.
well, yeah, you're charmed, so you're inclined to listen to me. So Victor would be like, "Come, Dirok, let us beat on the stockman like civilized people."
Like civilized people.
As you are,
has no glove.
you're not challenging.
You will have to
Cool.
make do.
I will hand him the puppet to hit the coffin maker with.
Fucking puppet.
It's kind of like a glove.
As you walk across towards the stocks where Henrik is incarcerated, you see 2 men coming behind what you assume to be the Wachter group, and you recognize them as the 2 young men of rather similar age and similar appearance that you were told in the inn were actually the Wachter sons, named Carl and Nikolai, as I recall.
How?
You did not meet them formally, but they were pointed out to you as being the Wachter sons. They're trailing behind like they're not real thrilled to be with Mama, and they're sharing some kind of private joke. They're laughing and whispering behind their hands and glancing around rather furtively, as if they've got something on their mind. And just as you hear a kind of a drum roll up the street, and you realize the procession is getting ready to advance, you notice a contingent of guards with Soldar and Yevgeny, the 2 wolf hunters. They have some wolf pelts slung over their shoulder, and they are looking very disgusted with a contingent of guards behind them, escorting them towards the square. They stomp up, throw their wolf pelts on the ground. The guards watch them for a moment and then go over to join the contingent behind the young captain. It's pretty clear that they're not there by choice. They didn't want to be here. And now you hear the drum roll and the procession is moving. Anybody doing anything as this starts?
Yes.
I'm going.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to elbow Victor and motion to the wolf hunters and be like, "It's a good thing we didn't try to get out of here."
Yes.
By the way, can you just let him go from that? Because it doesn't seem right.
It is not control. It is just well, you know, he is yes. Well, he will behave. That is the point.
Who will behave?
You gotta give him some kind of.
You will, because you are such a good boy, Dirok.
Oh god.
Because of your boy.
Yes, Dirok is good boy. Why did Dirok say that?
Don't worry about it. I'm trying to fix it, sweetie.
Okay.
I kind of know what that spell does. I kind of know what it looks like. I've done it myself a couple times to get out of some bullshit, but yeah, maybe just on him, like, a little trust.
Maybe get away from Coffin Maker first. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes. Why does Derek want to go away?
No, not yet. You stay.
Okay,
As this is going on,
Come
Vlad
along,
will.
Gira.
okay.
Don't abuse shit. I swear to God, I got something to poke you with.
As Jesus.
Poke him with what? Sword you never use?
I can use. I just choose not to. It looks good at my side. What can I say?
Anyway, as
Oh.
they're getting ready to go on with this parade or whatever it is, Vlad will scan everywhere really and look for those vampire spawn that escaped off into the night and see if they're going to cause any more trouble tonight.
Give me a perception roll.
Yeah.
You do not see any vampire spawn, and if you use your special eye patch, the only thing that seems to show up on it is in the distance. You would probably notice the aura around Victor, but you do notice, as you are being very observant, that there's probably 50 ravens lining the rooftops as you approach the square. They seem to be quite interested in the festival themselves. In the front of the procession is Father Lucian and Milivoy. He has him walking along with him. And Milivoy is carrying a torch rather proudly because he's rather proud to be part of what's going on. Apparently he's feeling a lot more comfortable now that he's had a talking to by the father, and they are leading the procession. And it moves south along the avenue into the square, and everybody is doing it. People are rolling this big, half carrying, half rolling this big wicker ball. And the first thing that happens, the Baron and the Baroness march in on their horses, and they move over to the side, and the guard takes the horses and they dismount and go up to where they are getting ready probably to do speeches or whatever. The people carrying the wicker ball put it on the ground and proceed to roll it up some stairs into a net, an iron or woven metal net, mesh net that is suspended between some poles, and they lift it up. As you are looking around and noticing everything, could I have the three people that were in the square to begin with roll perception for me, please?
Would that be the Dawn Watch or non-Dawn Watch?
Non-Dawn.
Non-Dawn Watch.
I'm failing at perception.
Yay.
Oh, my thing went away. Hold on.
The dusk
Gotta bring it back up.
Are we supposed to still be seeing the toy maker screen, or are we still Theater of the Minding?
Yeah, I think you need to move the ribbon.
Yay!
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
I was just waiting for a time to bring it up.
Thank you.
No problem.
So even with charm, Derek is still doing all right with
Yeah,
perception.
you're not controlled or anything. You're just inclined to
Only
listen
I
to
am.
suggestions from Victor.
You controlled me from not going after Hanrik. So yeah.
I discouraged you for gently.
You know what another word is for discouraging? Controlling.
We'll go with that. It's the vampires. There's a reason that we killed.
Yeah.
You know what, Dirok? You can help with when we're done with Strahd.
Vampire.
I technically could break it? Question mark.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
And
Are
Derek
we
makes a beeline
complete?
back to Hanrik.
Yeah, like we have to be completely out of eyesight or anything from that guy before I should really drop it.
Yeah, no.
All three of you are watching around enough, being a little bit nervous with all the surroundings, that you do notice the two Voctor young men slip away while everybody is watching the ball being hoisted up in the middle of this dais that they've constructed, this stone dais. You do notice them slip out of view.
I pointed out to to Victor. Where'd those two guys go?
Those of us that wear wolves on our heads are not friendly with civilized people.
Yeah, no, see, I know your story. This is another story. Maybe they're just trying while everyone's focused on the magic. Where's the giant cat to go after this yarn ball situation here? Maybe they're
Giant
just trying
cat.
to find. It's a ball. I'm expecting a giant cat to show up just to attack it for no reason other than
I am pretty sure that is the blazing sun.
it's a
Yeah.
cat. It's a cat toy.
There is no cat big enough for that. They say Darok is dumb.
How do
Victor
we know that
transforms
the
into a
Dawn
giant
Lord
cat.
is not a cat?
As the ball is hoisted up, the Baron steps up onto the stand, obviously preparing to make a nice long speech to get himself all kinds of things. The two players, the lute player and the flautist, both step down from the stands where they've been playing some medieval type music to entertain the crowds while they've been there. And the Baron steps up onto the stand for it and looks down at the Dawn Watch and opens his mouth to start to announce you, to have you
Does he get
come up.
JFK'd?
Does he what?
Does he get
Victor,
JFK'd?
Too soon.
Wow.
Victor
And
would
we're all
back
worried
off
that
a little
Darok is gonna make a scene.
Victor backs off a little bit just in case anything holy happens.
The first thing that happens is just as he opens his mouth to start speaking, a pouring rain opens up like somebody turned a bucket upside down over the village. It begins to absolutely pour, and Milivoy looks panicked as his torch begins to sputter in the rain. The Baron runs down the steps, completely forgetting his speech and everything that he was going to do, runs down the steps, grabs the torch, and frantically tries to run back up the steps and stuff it into the ball to set the ball on fire. From behind him, behind the dais area, you hear a guffaw come out of the group of soldiers. And the whole town, including the Baron, who has given up on trying to get this ball to set on fire, turns in shock that somebody has laughed.
Uh-oh. Oh boy, Dead Man Walking.
Well,
I
reading
go to-
spells.
I go to Victor and like, don't worry, all will be well.
All will be well, after all. It is the greatest festival of the year.
Yes.
You know, are you sure that was a wise idea? I could have just held the person, stopped him in his tracks. No, yeah.
The Baron turns and looks at the crowd desperately, lifts his hands in the now dying torch, and says, "No, all will be well. Whoever that was, arrest him!" And all of the guards turn and grab one of their number, who is shaking his head with his eyes about as big as silver dollars and can't believe that he made that faux pas. He's just like got his hand over his mouth and he's looking at them, shaking his head like, "No, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it." And they set their hands on him.
Victor runs forward and says, wait, perhaps I can be of help. Already kind of hating himself for it.
Oh, you idiot.
Oh, this will be good.
Darok, try to fight whatever urge you have not to go over there.
As you
Over
raise
there,
your
okay.
voice,
Stay!
as you raise your voice, Victor, the whole group turns and looks at you to see what you are going to do to salvage this.
Victor will cast Flame Blade, and he will hold it up as sort of an unspoken suggestion, pointing it towards the ball.
The Baron looks quite relieved, and he says, "Yes, Yes, our adventurers will ignite and the ball and
Is it
set
still
our
raining?
festival in motion. Yes, it's still pouring.
Can we see where it's coming from? Like, is it just like a
Out of the
centralized thing that
no,
someone
it's
cast?
just the clouds have opened up and are pouring on you.
It's Barovian weather. Chance of rain, 90%.
Pretty much.
I'm sure my nature roll didn't catch anything. though.
Nope, nope, definitely not. Hurrah for that -1.
Yeah, -1.
And I've got to do something.
Waggle, waggle.
And the ball bursts into flames.
And then
But-
it becomes a fire elemental that kills all of us.
Cast thaumaturgy to brighten the flames.
Victor will go ahead and back off. He'll have his flame blade on reserve. Like the spell is still in effect, but it's not visible.
Very good. And the wicker ball is now blazing in spite of the pouring rain. And from suddenly out of the clouds, completely unexpected, a bolt of lightning strikes the dais. There's only one bolt of lightning and it goes away very quickly, but it was very significant that it hit right on the dais just as all this was going on.
I want to
Everybody
do a nature
is
check again.
okay.
One more for you. Oh, God!
Damn it!
It's that spell. It's definitely affecting Dirok. You can see that.
Yep. Thanks, Victor.
You're welcome. Yeah,
There we go, we
bitch,
got
it's
Victor.
ruined.
So bad. Ow!
You
And
guys are wasting the 20s.
yes, and Victor,
Hey, I'm wasting
exactly
all my
what were-
bad rolls right now.
It's true.
Victor, exactly what were you trying to determine? I know what Dirok was trying to determine.
I guess whether that lightning was natural.
You feel like all of this probably was a little too coincidental, and knowing that Strahd likes his games with lightning and the weather, you can suspect that probably he's saying I still control you kind of thing without actually being here.
All right. Victor looks around at the sky to try and see how far the clouds go.
The clouds pretty much cover the whole village. It lightens up a little bit as you get farther out away from the village. You can see some areas where the clouds are higher and thinner, but over the village it's just dark, heavy clouds.
Okay, so it doesn't look like kind of a cartoon storm cloud like just
No.
over us.
No, the old cartoon character Joe Blitzel Flitzick that always had the little black cloud over him. No, it does not look like that.
All right.
But it looks like it could be a cell that just happened to be over Vallaki. However, the fact that the lightning hit exactly dead center on this metal mesh and all of the things timing as it was, you suspect there's probably something going on behind the scenes.
If anyone looks at Victor as if to inquire about the lightning, he just gives an absolute shrug.
The soldiers very quietly, they're not making a bunch of furor, but they very quietly surround and usher away one of their individuals and quietly fasten him into the stocks with the others that were there.
Well, I tried, buddy.
There's a bit of a murmur among the crowds, not the clouds. Bit of a murmur among the crowds. There's a bit of a dissatisfaction. you can feel that there's just a wave of dissatisfaction with all of this. People are not real pleased. And at that
With
moment, from quite a ways away, like well across town, but apparently it was loud enough that you could hear it even from here, you hear the scream of two men.
Oh boy.
Our work is never done.
Epotus already has his shield out and his sword out, and he's in his phalanx position.
Victor just like casts Druidcraft and kind of bends the rain away from him. It's like he has an invisible umbrella.
Vlad goes to
rolled,
stand by
uh,
Victor.
I rolled a 21 for perception. I wanted to
Everyone,
recognize if the. Oh,
you,
sorry.
what exactly are you trying to determine?
If the two screaming men are anyone that I recognize.
I would like to determine whether it's like scream of terror, scream of fear, scream of anger, what.
Fear and terror.
Okay.
And since going with my character and all of the bad choices that she will ever make, I'm going to head towards the scream.
Okay, that's fine. I thought you were gonna start screaming too. I was like, "There's
No.
nothing here."
Well,
It
the
would-
lightning would have freaked her the fuck out, but she's heading towards where the screaming came from.
The
Or at
scream
least in
would
that general
come
direction.
from the road that goes up towards the main street and towards the main drag where you came in. You would be headed. The stream is basically in the direction where the coffin maker's shop was before you burned it.
Okay, I'm gonna just head in that direction then.
Yep.
Where are you going?
As you walk down the street, you see something coming at you that is extremely large.
Victor sighs and follows her.
And Vlad casts light. Oh.
Is he coming towards
That's
me?
a.
I'm going to
Well,
the nearest.
okay, Sylvia
Wait,
was right. That is a big cat.
Oh,
Sylvia just looks at that like, I hate it when I'm right.
Right. An enormous cat wearing a cloth puppy coat and a kind of a necklace or harness around its neck comes bounding down the street at you. It pauses for a moment when it sees you, Sylvia, but then tries to dodge around you and head for the square.
I'm gonna duck and let it go past and then scream after it. I hate when I'm right!
Now it's wearing a coat.
Yeah, it's wearing like a little pup. What you would, if you saw a small dog in a puppy coat, it's got a large version of that. It's actually wearing a cloth coat of some kind.
It's got a harness?
It's got a
And
rain
it's-
poncho.
And a necklace, I think it said.
Yeah, a harness
Hey,
with a kind of a
Victor.
medallion on the front of it.
Victor looks over at the burgomaster, trying to determine that this is part of the show that's gone wrong.
The burgomaster
Vlad tries
is
to.
backing down the steps with a horrified look on his face, and the soldiers are immediately picking up weapons and starting to move towards the cat as it's coming in.
As it's running by, Vlad will try to grab the harness and get on.
Oh,
Roll initiative.
All of us?
Well, certainly,
POTUS.
Vlad is rolling initiative.
Oops, I didn't have my
No!
selected.
Come-
Oh my god!
I'll get to act tomorrow.
Oh my god!
Well, I'll be right back.
Oh. Law of the universe, you had to roll that 20 earlier. And all my good rolls just made me go from yay to damn it. least I'm not.
Come here, kitty.
Super, at least I'm not super last. Cough, cough.
Okay, let me get a few things up. Just a little bit ahead here.
Ominous roll? What? What is that button and what does it do? Sorry, I'm
Okay,
coughing.
I've got a few of the people involved up and ready to go here if they are needed. The tiger comes bounding into the square and looks around at everybody. Uh, it, are you moving towards it, Vlad?
He was moving with Sylvia and Victor towards the noise.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear you say that before. I didn't know
I
all
said
of you were moving
I said
down.
yes, and
Victor,
with the
were
intent that
you
he was
moving
moving.
down?
Psst, nobody
Victor?
attack it.
Riz?
Yeah, I followed after
All
Sylvia.
right, I didn't realize all three of you were there. Okay, it bounded around you, and at that time it probably would be in range of your move. Give me a dexterity roll.
Me?
Yes, for your
Oh.
attempt to.
Oh.
You want to try and get on it?
The saber-toothed tiger turns and lashes out at you with its claws.
AC?
And it does not hit.
Oh, good. I was
And it tries then as best it can to start to still keep moving away from you. You get the feeling it's more like trying to, it would injure you if you got in range of its claws, but it is trying to warn you off and doesn't want anything to do with you. Victor, what are you going to do?
Victor kind of sees how it seems to be kind of avoiding us, and for now he just kind of reactivates his flame blade and brandishes it, but does not attack with it,
Okay. Vlad?
as if to say, kind of stay back. I guess I'll ready in action to actually swing it if it seems like it's going to attack me or somebody next to me.
Okay, that works. Vlad, what are you going to do now?
Oh, you get to go again?
It's at your actual turn now.
Oh, okay. Vlad will just try to get onto it again. Come here, kitty. Same thing, just roll dexterity.
Dexterity, yep.
So wait, he's not really 80 feet away from us?
I'm glad I will have the proof on the screen now. It avoided you.
But wait, I had cast. No, I didn't. Not yet.
Yes.
I don't think I specified. I clicked the thing. I clicked the guidance thing, but I don't think I specified that I was casting guidance.
No, you
good
didn't.
job.
And
Oh.
it avoided you, and I've got the proof. It continues to try and move away. Dirok, what are you doing? You're still you're with them.
I'm just putting my
He's not-
character here
He's
for.
not really 80 feet from us, is he?
No,
Or is from
the
me?
three of you are actually down the street a ways. He is dashing. He's just entering the square area the tiger is, but all three of you are nearby that tiger. I believe the three Dawn Watch. No, Vlad went. Victor went with Sylvia. Sylvia went down, and Vlad went down. You tell me where you are, Derek. Are you still in the square, or did you go down the street?
I'm just gonna move.
I probably would still be in this. Mm,
In that case, yes.
yeah,
it is-
I would be in the square, kind of like watching them going away. So I probably would have the cat in view.
Yes, you see the cat
So would I
coming,
be like
but you would be
right
about.
here?
The cat would be just at the entry point of the square now, so we'll put it there for the purposes of measurement. It would be just as it enters, and Sylvia and them are very close to it. So if
Okay,
you
sorry.
want to put your
So then I'd be probably right here then.
very good.
Like I would have had them in view, and then, but like I wasn't really following them because I didn't see Alex or Apodus move around either. So I kind of wanted to like keep everyone in view.
Very good. So if you
So,
want
yeah.
to do anything with the cat, you are going to have to move to it.
No, I do not. I am gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Yay!
Okay.
I was
But it
hoping
takes
you
you 10
weren't
minutes.
having to do that myself.
Casting time is 1 action. The duration time is 10 minutes.
But
You're not
as
a spellcaster.
as a barbarian, you got it as a ritual.
Oh, damn it! I can't cast it.
You can't
No.
cast it in combat.
No. Why? Well, technically, I'm not in combat. I will argue this. I will argue this.
No, yes you are.
I am not in combat. I did
I
not
will
pull out
agree
weapons.
with Xerox.
He is not
Xerox
attacking me.
Xerox is not
It- it's-
technically in combat.
You,
Yes.
you
Yeah, but
can
it-
do
no,
it, but
no.
it'll take 100 turns.
Yes.
I am willing to wait. No.
You know what? If we can restrain the thing, that might work.
I can cast it normally. I'll just have to let go of my flame blade.
You hear a yell
Sorry.
from the south side
Doesn't
of the
require
square.
concentration.
No.
Oh, it doesn't take concentration?
Yeah, it doesn't require concentration.
Oh shit, I just assumed it would. Well then yeah, I'll cast it my next turn.
All right. In the meantime, I guess I will. Okay, hold on. I'm right here. Just want to make sure he's within 30. Like, yeah, that's 30. So then, yeah, I'll move in and try to grapple it.
Fucking wrestle that cat. Go for it.
What is grapple?
You give
Roll your athletics.
13. Probably not going to be good. I'm also going to try to say, easy beast. We're trying to help you.
the tiger is able to sidestep your attack,
Okay.
and
This tiger is a god.
from the south side of the square you hear a yell. No! Don't harm it!
Derek was not
Okay.
planning to.
The
All we need
guards,
to beat
however,
Strahd is this tiger.
the guards and Strozny, however, are paying no attention to that. Strozny moves towards the tiger, and the guards, who are right there as where it comes in, immediately take out their weapons and try to hit it.
Quick question. I know the tiger has gotten past me. Am I still within technical 30 feet of it?
Yes, I'll say that you are at this point.
I'm gonna try.
The tiger was hit by several of the guardsmen, by the way.
Okay.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a good thing that Derek is here.
I'm gonna try animal friendship and attempt to charm the cat to get it to not keep going.
Okay, and convince a beast, you mean it no harm. Choose a beast.
Yeah, I'll just
If the beast
randomly pull out
intelligent
ham
or
sandwich.
4 or higher, which it is, it must succeed on wisdom. All right, let's see what it's.
Is it 4 or is it 4 or higher?
Oh no, its intelligence isn't 4 or higher. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
3.
so-
Okay. And yeah, if it's
Okay, so
intelligence
then
4 or higher, it automatically fails. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it must succeed on a wisdom. All right, wisdom. What's your spell DC?
14.
It rolls a 16.
Fuck. I have tried. I have came I saw. I tried.
Okay. Epotus, you are up.
Okay. Okay,
Bonus
so
takes a bite of that sandwich.
yeah, so am I literally like this far away from them, or am I
Pretty
closer?
much, yeah. You haven't
Okay,
moved up, so
cool.
you're pretty much there.
All right, so that's there, and then that's there. So he takes the dash action to get here. He goes. He says very distantly,
Clank, 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 clank.
basically.
The
Yeah, he's
tiger.
not.
Wait,
I
which
don't
one
even.
is Isaac?
Yeah, he's not even within. He's. Not, I don't think he's even really within range for like a. I mean, I could chuck a javelin, but I think we're trying to not piss it off. So.
Yeah.
God, do I have anything that I can do within 50 feet? Nope. Yeah, I'm just gonna save things.
Which one
Addie's
is Isaac? I
turn.
don't see him on the screen.
He's up above the square. He's up here.
Okay.
And I'm
Oh,
So
and
adding,
Epotus is closest to him.
yeah, I've got to add a turn here.
So I'm assuming the scream you heard before was the 200s that tried to get away.
That's what I was trying to see if I could recognize their the screams.
It was probably the two children.
They're not exactly
I heard
children,
it was-
but you are on the right track.
The Vacher kids.
Yep, they're not kids.
Oh, the
they're young
brats!
men. No, not
The
the
stupid
brats.
brats.
No, not the Mardukov children. The two young men, the Vochter boys.
Yeah, no, I just call them brats because they're stuck up little.
Okay,
Brats, but
but they are not children. They are probably
Yeah, no.
around 20 years of age, plus or minus a few years.
I think it's the brats.
The tiger will, let me see how determined it is with what's going on. It will take the disengage action, and it will move towards the person that yelled in the south of the square. But as it does so, it is moving past a lot of guards who all attempt to hit it.
Victor is going to call out, "Stop hitting it! You will ruin the festival! The
Hey.
Burgomaster will be very angry!"
Oh God.
The Burgomaster will be very angry.
The burgomaster
Oh.
yells, "No, I won't! Kill that animal!"
If you attack that animal, Derek will be angry.
Well, they stop afterwards, but not before they have done some more damage to the poor beast. And
Victor, you better keep a tight leash on me.
you again hear the yell from the south, "Don't hurt it! Don't hurt it! Come here, Kitty!" And Rictavio runs for the cat.
Rictavio. Who's that again?
The circus guy.
Oh.
I figured that once I heard that it was the two boys, I'm like, oh, it's got to be the circus cat.
He runs forward and he says, "It will not harm you if you do not harm it. Leave it alone. I will take it back to its wagon." The Baron
Here's how they got it.
yells, "Arrest that man for harboring a dangerous animal."
Are you kidding me? It's part of a circus! I'm just gonna start screaming that from my end of the field.
The only thing that's been dangerous is your guards attacking the animal. The animal attacked no one.
The cat has gone into like a defensive stance and is apparently guarding Rictavio.
Am I up?
So
Yes.
so are we all in
Okay.
agreement that we should protect the cat and Rictavio from the guards? This is probably gonna end
That's what
badly. for us,
Darok's
but-
gonna do, whether anyone else is or not.
So Victor is going to say directly to the Burgomaster, "Please, I helped with the flame. Give me a moment to figure this out." And he is going to cast Speak with Animals as he kind of walks up to the beast, and he is going to say, "Wow, wow, wow, wow."
Oh,
Wow.
Now
Wow.
that roughly translates to, "I am very sorry about all of this fuss. Please tell me so that I can protect you and your master. What happened?"
Meanwhile, the cat behind you is giving you dirty looks for that.
Meow. Meow.
And the cat snarls back at you and says, "Meet, meet, Rictavio, Vistani." And that's about all you get out of it.
Someone had meat and got you out of your place, your home?
You can see a kind of an image in its mind of somebody snapping a chain, hearing a sound of a chain snapping, and then bursting out of a door. And two men
Those two
standing
brats.
very startled as they realize the cat is coming out of the wagon.
Victor calls out towards the Burgomaster, "This is not this man's fault. It is an act of sabotage. Two miscreants let this creature out of its cage. It is as frightened as we are."
The Burgermeister yells, "I don't care! He should not have brought a dangerous animal into our village! Arrest him!" And the guards immediately start for Rictavio. Rictavio is backing up. It is clear that he is preparing to run, and there is a murmur of dissatisfaction among the members of the townsfolk in the crowd. They are not pleased. It is clear that all is not well. I'm going to take you temporarily out of turn order. I will leave the turn order as it was. I'll let you free move because we're kind of in story mode at the moment.
Vlad does two things very quickly. He casts guidance on himself. Actually, no. Maybe, yes. He casts guidance on himself. He then turns to Sylvia and asks, basically, "Oh, Seely, can you give me some bardic inspiration?"
Yeah, no problem. Just you'll have the 1d6.
Okay.
I think it's my only 1d6, so I don't get to cast many. Oh wait, how many?
You can do it several times.
Yeah, no, I gotta double check how many times. I know it's not a ton.
It's a number of times equal to your charisma modifier.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so then 4. So I have 3 left.
And what is a POTUS
Receiving
doing
this-
while all this melee is going
Okay, I'm here.
on?
Good, because Darok has to move again.
I'm pretty much Sylvia's just pretty much getting to probably a shouting match at this point with the Burgermeister. It's like,
You said shouting match.
yeah, no, she is
I
yelling at
use thaumaturgy to make
Christ.
my voice boom 3 times louder than normal. And Vlad, who is already a very loud person, makes that almost eardrum shattering loud. Says, everyone shut up! This is not what the festival is about.
There
Can I
is
try to...
most of the soldiers and everything. They were moving towards Rictavio, and they stopped at the booming voice. What else do you want to do?
Vlad will move towards the cat and try to use animal handling to calm it down.
And
Also
Victor,
going to use the 1d4 from guidance.
it seems rather calm to you. It doesn't seem to be attacking you. The guards are moving directly for Rictavio, who reaches out and grabs the tiger's harness and throws himself on the back of the tiger. The tiger, I'm going to put the turn order back up because more things are going on here. The tiger, let me go to the top of the order here. The tiger strikes out at one of the guards.
No, old man, run!
Oh, it just wiped out a guard in one fell swoop.
Ooh.
And
Oh, get it to
Well-
stop!
I tried to. That's what the animal handling was.
If it's a 1d6 and a
Rictavio
1d4.
yells,
That
"Go!"
was the guidance.
And the tiger
Okay.
runs.
Oh,
There is one attack on it as it runs. One of the guards is in range and attempts to hit it with his spear and does not. He misses. The tiger moves very quickly. Rictavio and the tiger proceed to start running from the square, and the angry voices of the crowd get louder. And they yell, "It's his fault!" And they all point at the Baron. The whole crowd
Ooh,
is
maybe we should just let things
moving,
happen.
moving at
Derek's
the
gonna let
Baron and at is Isaac Strasny. They are apparently very upset at what has been going on.
Victor, as best as someone that looks like him can, is going to try and back off and melt into the crowd.
You would be able, give me a stealth, but you will have advantage and it won't take a lot because it is clear there's a definite problem brewing and it has nothing to do with you. Yeah, you are able in the melee to melt into the crowd. You feel somebody reach out and grab you by the arm, and when you look up, it is the Mardikovs. They are pulling you away from the square.
God damn it, Victor, you should have stayed with us.
Well, he's
You've been
Wait.
through campaigns with me before. You should know what to expect.
Yeah.
They're
yeah,
not-
we constantly make fun of Borsovic, but it's Lucian the whole time.
wait.
They're not.
The
They're not
Mardikovs are
like-
all the way south of.
Yeah, they basically moved up to where Victor was. I've lost track of where
Oh,
you guys
okay.
are in this crowd, really. But as
Yeah.
Victor said, he was moving into the crowd. They moved over to where he was, gently grabbed him by the arm, and they are trying to urge him to leave the square. Meanwhile, Lady Wachter is leading the charge, yelling louder than anyone, "It's his fault!" and pointing at the Baron. She is obviously beating the drum of revolution in the town.
Oh boy.
Sorry, who is that?
The opposite,
Crazy
the
Mitchell.
lady that's been trying to get the Burgomeister's position, like the
Probably don't-
Burgomeister's rival in as leader.
The
Probably
mother,
don't want her in this power either, but
she's the mother of the two young men that disappeared off and you suspect released the tiger. She, as he said, is the main contention for power in Vallaki. And she was the one that had this guy with the fur cap on that was watching you. And he is slipping off into the crowd as this is going on as well. Anyone
I
who
have an idea.
wants to may give me a perception roll regarding that.
Yep, I'm gonna
This is gonna be fun.
I'm
because
gonna
I have an
try
idea.
perception.
Ooh, yes, 16.
Epotus has one job.
Yes, he does.
It was a total of 11. Not that I was going to do much.
Yeah, Gore and Sylvia, or I mean Dirok and Sylvia. Sorry, Gore, I still think of you as Gore Totem.
Not a problem.
Should name just work that.
Dirok and Sylvia they turn around looking to see where they can move and what they can do, and they notice the fur-capped guy moving around, keeping an eye on you guys separately. You're kind of scattered all over, but it's clear he's watching where all of you go. He is not participating in the revolution. He is trying to like hide in the crowd and keep an eye on you.
I was told the revolution would not be televised.
Well, it is.
Is it possible
Anarchy
to make
is
eye
it.
contact? Sorry. Is it possible to make eye contact with the guy as he's watching us?
Who
From-
was this guy that was watching us again?
The guy in the fur cap that was with Lady Voctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He,
I just want to.
I would say no, because he is not
Okay,
like looking at faces. He's just like watching the crowd, watching you, looking around and seeing how he can like slip away. But you get the impression he is again more interested in your group than he is in the revolution or the burning sun or any of this.
Is Sylvia close to me? Kind of.
I'm with the group. I'm near a POTUS at this point.
Yeah, you're
Because short legs.
you're close, but not for Derek to kind of whisper.
I'm going
Yeah.
to remove a lot of this crowd
Cuddle,
off
huddle,
the map for the purpose of just saying
They all ran
are
away.
No, they either ran away, which some of them did. Some of them left the square and hustled their children away. They certainly ran up and grabbed their kids that were dressed like flowers and pulled them out of the square. But there were a number of the individuals that were in the crowd that are moving with Lady Voctor and are heading. Some of them are heading for Isaac Strasny, and some of them are heading for the Baron. Father Petrovich runs to the Baroness and grabs her by the arm and is attempting to pull her away towards the church, and Milivoy is following after Father Petrovich.
Can I do stuff now?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So Vlad, who is watching all this unfold, flips down his eye patch and flaps his cloak so that the symbol of Dunwatch is shining in the firelight as he hops onto the stage. Still with thaumaturgy on, his voice is booming 3 times as loud. He then casts light over his head, bright golden glow. Says, "What will this I'm not even going to try to shout. I don't have the effort in me. But what will this resolve? All this is going to do is get people killed, and then they will come back as vampires and kill more people. This woman," he says, pointing at the Watcher woman, "is trying to use you as tools for her own self-interest."
Oh, someone caught it.
Yeah.
This town does need to change. Violence is not the answer. The Morning Lord still has power. Lathander is the god of life. What is going on here is not creating life, but death. The only way to make this town better is not by killing others, but by sitting down and figuring out what the problem is. And then he points at the Burgomeister and says, "You, everything is not well in Vallaki. You know this. You know that your festivals do nothing to stop Strahd. You need to change as much as this entire town does. Now everyone sit down and we can talk about this. Or we can beat each other up and have Strahd
Kick at their
damn
horses.
stuttering. And have Strahd gain more power."
And
Some of the
off with
crowd,
Vlad's head.
some of the crowd has moved over to the stocks and have released the guard and the 3 people, including the boy, that were townsfolk that were in the stocks, and they are standing. The guard has run back to his guard contingent. The 2 adults who were in the stocks are standing there shaking their fist at the Baron, and Lady Voctor raises her her voice, and she has a very shrill kind of voice, and she says, "Yes, it is him and his foolish festivals that have caused this. Do you not see that we should..."
And it is you and your lust for power that released the tiger and endangered everyone here. You dare to presume yourself any better than him.
"I have the answer, and he does not." But the townsfolk have surrounded Strozny and the Burgomeister and are dragging the two of them to the stocks. They are not actually fighting now, and the guards they're like in defensive stances, standing back, but they're not quite sure what to do, but they are not fighting the townsfolk.
Epotus
Wait,
leans over. Epotus leans over to Sylvia and just says, "So
This is bad.
this is very bad. I could try to instill a sense of order."
Duroc, stop.
Duroc. Epotus grabs Duroc by the shoulder.
No,
and says,
I just wanted to make sure no one was noticing. Damn it. Oh, I'll wait my turn.
Should we let this play out, or should we impose a bit of order?
I'd say play out for now. Impose order second once things calmed a bit, because right now we are. I've seen situations like this. Normally, a person gets hanged from a tree, and things get set on fire, and
Epotus starts moving over to Vlad and beckons.
I left the town because of that. It was been bad. But wait, we're missing someone.
Vlad.
Where's tall, dark, and creepy?
Victor is with the Martikovs. He's
No.
down there.
Just now noticing he's missing out in character.
Who particularly are you missing?
Tall, dark, and creepy. She's talking about Victor.
Oh,
Yeah,
Vlad is locked.
Vlad looks down at Epotus.
yeah, Victor.
We have an opportunity
Victor
here.
is out of
Victor
the
is
square.
down here.
Victor is down the
Yeah,
side street.
Yeah, figured as much, but it's more like Sylvia's now noticing that he's not here.
An opportunity to do what? He says, relatively quietly, but his thaumaturgy is still on, so it's...
he's just like
Open mic. You've got an open mic.
opportunity.
Yes, you've got an open mic. The whole world has heard your open mic.
Turn it off like a light.
I can't. It'll last for a minute. No, it's not. I can't just concentration. It's not a concentration thing. I can't just drop concentration on it.
Hey, why are we skipping Duroc?
I didn't.
Yeah, you can do what you want, man.
Yeah, I didn't. It was just that we were kind of moving freely. Go ahead, Duroc, and do what you're doing. I was skipping actually the guards.
Yeah, so there's still all the chaos and whatnot going on, right?
Pretty much,
can-
people are milling about, although they're not actively attacking each other.
Look at all these people. Look at all these people.
Look at all these chickens.
They're lost without guidance, and they have a choice between two fools.
Fuck.
Or
So,
Where's
Duroc
Apo's
is,
warlock when we need him?
and with Victor gone,
You're still
Duroc
really
is
cool, though.
gonna go on ahead and mosey around.
Duroc, where are you going?
Since Victor's not around, he is ignoring everyone now.
I don't even care at this point.
yeah.
First, though,
Epotus has bigger fish to fry. He needs to know Vlad's with him on it. He says, Epotus says, there are two fools that
way.
will bring this town to ruin, or we could offer them a third option.
Gonna tug it.
Third fool.
I'm gonna tug it. Epotus'
What?
arm and be like, tall, dark, and dead is kind of missing.
Tall, pale, and big.
And Epotus inhales, holds it,
Why does this remind me of birth breathing?
No, he's just inhaling and relaxing.
I thought you said impaling and relaxing, which might be even more accurate.
I mean, give him a second. He's got a couple ideas.
Okay, so
Eventually.
Sylvia and Epotus are up right now. What are they going to do?
I figure right now, for the purpose of your divine sense, Victor is probably a mouse on a rooftop, like on a nearby building.
All right,
Just
so
kind of watching this go down.
so did you like change into
Oh,
a
yeah, dream
bat,
up,
or
didn't you?
did you like change into a bat to fly up to the?
No, I
If
I
you
would
were a
probably
mouse-
climb or something.
All right, are you literally?
I definitely
a mouse?
would not change into a bat right now. That seems like a
Are
horrible
you
idea.
I will repeat
Anyway.
my question. Are you a mouse?
I am a mouse.
And Epotus looks up at Vlad and just says, "We can offer them a third option, and then we can make this town the fortified position we need against Strahd."
Vlad looks at Epotus and then looks out at.
All you
This-
have to do is nod in agreement.
You know I'm not happy about these.
Just a moment.
have a
Rather,
Hang
you know
on
I'm not happy about these.
Just a moment.
Do I have a vote on this?
Oh,
I miss
yes.
you, as always.
They failed their intelligence roll. The entire swarm of ravens see a mouse on the rooftop.
Oh.
Oh no!
And
brought this on yourself.
And they
Should've been a cat.
all start for Victor. Victor, give me a stealth check.
Oh boy.
flunk it. Flunk it. Yeah!
Victor, just get out of the swarm.
Find that rat hole. Find it. Be like Shaman.
All right, they all proceed to try and attack you. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, I figure they'd hit me, and if they do hit me, I would probably lose my mouse HP and turn back into Victor.
yeah.
At which point I look at them like, really?
What is your armor class in mouse form?
I'm
Negative
not
2.
sure I actually have stats for it.
Negative 10.
I mean,
is it less
it's
than
probably decent because of just being small.
Is it
Let's
less
see,
than
there's
13?
a rat, so... Yeah, probably. A rat has AC 10.
All right, they have hit you for 6 damage.
Alright, so I would I would turn back to Victor and take 5 damage.
Yeah, you won't
At
go
which point, I would spread my arms out wide and go, "Ah!"
And you would
Did you break the
immediately have
microphone?
this enormous swarm of ravens going off in all directions.
freaking the fuck out.
They thought they were going to have an easy meal.
Not the case!
Noob.
So Victor hunches down and watches this the fucking old-fashioned way.
Just be Batman at this point. Okay.
All right, so we'll move down to Vlad. What's Vlad doing is the people are they have at least listened to you enough that they are not trying to murder each other, but it is clear they are taking over the village and are planning on having, at the very least, a citizen law for the moment.
Yeah, Epotus looks up at Vlad and just says, "We can't just let that woman or just the rabble take over. We need to get the guards, and we need to initiate order immediately. Are you
How
with?
immediately?
Are you with? Are you?
I'm always with you.
Good. And Epotus
Romance.
then call the guard captains over.
Vlad, still with thaumaturgy on,
Attention,
turns to
attention,
the
officers. Please come to the front table.
pretty much, yeah. Whichever one is the captain, Vlad turns to him. It's this young guy, right?
Yes, yeah, he's all dressed up fancy, but you can tell he doesn't have a lot of battle experience.
Vlad turns to the guard captain, points at him with a mailed gauntlet, says, You are the captain. At least act like it. Bring those guards over here. And he points down at the ground. Like, you, here, now.
The guard
Parent
almost
style.
looks thankful that somebody with some kind of military background is kind of giving him orders, and he very imperiously points at all the soldiers. You, go over there and help him! And you are now in control of a bunch of guards.
And Epotus steps out in front of Sylvia and just says, try to find everyone and keep an eye on them. And Epotus steps forward. He makes sure that his tabard with the shining sun is visible, as is his shield, and he's got this brilliant golden sash that's like flowing behind him majestically. And he just says, "All right, form ranks. We need to ensure that this town doesn't fall into utter chaos. I want you to," and he starts pointing to guards, and he says, "You need to go secure that section of town, and you there." And he turns and looks at, is this woman,
That's
She is
that's
her,
Lady
yes.
Wagner.
she's
yeah.
still there?
Yeah.
So
Vlad would have, after he brought the guards over, Vlad would have gotten off the thing and started walking towards her.
And apprehend her and put her in the stockade right next to the Burgermeister. We need both of them to think a bit about what they've done.
Oh, do you? Okay, hold on a moment.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we should hold on a moment and go to Dirok before this happens, so that I have no guards by me.
Everybody turns and just sees.
Yeah, just go look at that direction for a few minutes.
I mean, you've probably had a good minute or so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dirok. I'm assuming that there's townsfolk kind of guarding the stocks right now, so Dirok wanted to talk to the townsfolk.
Like, meanwhile,
Lady-
Dirk is currently adventuring.
Lady Wagner suddenly equals Vlad in voice power. Her voice booms out through the square. Let me get her pulled up here properly.
Am I gonna have to pull out the stops?
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
no.
pull out the stops, aren't I?
No, Appo, I got this.
Oh, you got this? All right.
I got this.
Be the queen, bitch.
And
Oh no. I
she
got better.
equals every bit the power that Vlad did, and she says, Strahd is the master of this land, and he will see to the order in this village. You must.
Nope.
Oh
you-
boy.
You
I
will
was not gonna
obey me. And she points at all of the people who are milling about, not sure what to do. The guards look a little bit
Crap, it's not my turn anymore.
uncomfortable. They are not quite sure what to do with this. Dirok, it is your turn now.
Here, let me see. This
Meanwhile, while she-
lady right here
Yes.
As she's ranting, I'm just
is
gonna make my way
within
around.
range. What's her armor class?
Oh, don't
Don't know.
No.
don't go do it.
She
go
looks
do
like
it.
I wanna
she's
pull her
wearing
javelin out
robes.
now after
Yeah.
hearing
Very,
Strahd.
she
Oh,
looks like
oh
she's
yeah,
wearing heavily
priorities.
nobility robes.
Yeah,
But that's
Dirok does
about all
have
you can tell.
priorities. Hold on. Okay, so Dirok, I'm assuming that there's townsfolk and whatnot kind of guarding the stocks here. That's why I kind of stopped by the rest of the townsfolk
Actually,
here.
they're paying very little attention to the stocks once they got the people out. The people that were in the stocks, except for the boy, have basically joined in the mob.
Well then, ooh, even better. Dirok goes to the mob then. Tries to get some of their attention. Does that happen?
Uh,
Or do I have to do something to get their attention?
Give me a persuasion check.
Dun dun dun.
And
So not the bard.
yes, you managed to get their attention.
All right. Darok gets their attention, then points to Hanrik. That man there threatened the lives of children to get what he
God
wanted.
damn it.
He took the bones, the sacred bones from your church, and because of that, vampires attacked. Will you allow him to live to do so again?
You know, you're really not helping the overall cause.
Oh no,
It's
but
okay.
he's
Okay.
redirecting that crowd.
Considering
redirecting that
the
mob.
difference
I'm
in your
redirecting the mob for you.
persuasion,
They're not
and considering the difference in your persuasion roll and their roll, they immediately yell and head for Henrik. You have to jump out of the way.
there. Are you guys happy now? I did not kill
You
him.
didn't kill him.
I
Victor,
did
I'm
not kill
loving your
Henrik.
Didn't kill him.
expressions.
Holy. I'm just.
I'm clapping excitedly for Durok. I'm like, good job.
She's just like.
I have stayed my hand. I listened to you guys. I did not kill him.
And
Nope,
they
just
are
kidding.
picking up stones and they are pelting him only because it has lopped over. Not everybody can get in and throw a stone at him, and they are also throwing stones at Isaac and the Baron.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to avoid.
All right,
Eh,
let me put a
collateral.
crowd into this roll here.
You know, at this point, like Epotus is kind of taking a.
I mean,
It's kind of
technically,
activating here.
You know what?
the
It
bear
might
has
be
to
better
stay.
just fear everyone.
All right, hold on. Hold on. I have to end my turn.
Yep.
I'm going to
Yep.
walk away.
Okay.
Drop the mic.
I am satisfied with my result.
Yes.
Isaac Strozny is yelling for the first time, apparently in pain. Meanwhile, Lady Wagner, it is her turn, and she is
Is she still having
going.
the shouting match with Vlad? Don't leave. Don't leave.
She is going to attempt to command Vlad.
Oh boy.
What is that save?
I'm looking here. Let me get.
Wisdom, I believe.
Her save is.
30.
25.
I don't know what her. I didn't have her ready, and I don't know. I've got to look up her spell casting ability and what her DC is. Give me 1 second here. Kind of see what it is under the listing. 5th level is DC 13.
What save?
You on command. You are doing a Wisdom save.
Oh, no.
But
Wait, he has guidance.
no, it's
I don't know.
I thought you had guidance.
guidance doesn't work on saves.
Oh.
Guidance is only skill checks.
And she
Can I-
says,
can
I have Bardic Inspiration.
Yes, he does have Bardic Inspiration.
okay.
Fuck that bitch.
Sylvia did.
All right, you manage. You hear a voice in your head, but it kind of it doesn't affect you. She says, "Obey," and it is basically the guards are attempting to interpose themselves between all the people and the Baron. They're trying to stop everybody from harming
Get
the
order.
prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Epotus was going to order him to do anyway.
And Sylvia, what are you doing?
So, as she's trying to do this whole thing, my hand will reach up behind her with the puppet and go, yes, yes, obey, do as I command. I am Strahd. Blah 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 blah. And then
God
he's
damn
going
it.
to turn to look at her and kiss her on the cheek.
All right,
And I am just going
when
to.
her next turn
fuck
comes,
around with
she
this
will attempt to snag that out of your hand. Epotus, it is your turn.
and I will kick her in the shin.
Epotus just very casually walks up to about here, gets right in her face,
Please.
and then he just rears back
Yes!
and lets out a deafening roar.
Oh.
And I'm gonna plug my ears, and so is Puppet Strahd.
He chooses her and her entire entourage.
Okay. And okay,
So
so
they need
the
to beat
others
a
are free
DC
of it.
Wiz fear, and
And
they're
die with the-
frightened of me for 1 minute, and they only can repeat it if they take damage.
So,
said
I mean-
wisdom
13?
saving throw.
And that is
I mean, that's
Vicious
okay
plus
as well,
charisma
I guess.
modifier.
wisdom.
It's the best I got.
And
Well, I thought you were rearing your head back
she
for
rolls a
maybe some
19.
fire time.
No.
Oh god.
You got a 19? Crap.
Yep.
Can
Now I will roll for her entourage, however, which will roll separately because they are basically just
Okay.
commoners.
If that's the case,
Actually,
I'll be darned.
just realized-
They rolled 19 as well. They don't have near
Okay.
the ability.
I don't know.
actually, I just realized something, DM. It's probably too late for this, but since I was trying to be a jackass with this puppet over her shoulder, would that have counted as technically a vicious mockery?
You didn't
I
cast
will.
it as a vicious
You
mockery.
you didn't
I'm just-
count it, but I will allow you to back up and retcon it and cast it if you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I realized, like, after I did all this, like, wait, no, that could have counted as a vicious mockery if I had actually thought about it in that moment. I mean, I'll skip it for now, but
I will also say, knowing circumstances, that the puppet use of vicious mockery will be at disadvantage. Not vicious mockery overall, but the puppet use of it as the tool.
Because
okay,
it's not
is
arcane
it
focus
wisdom
yet.
saving?
No, for other reasons.
But I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
lady's
because of,
loyal to Strahd, if
Yeah,
not
so
maybe
it's-
Yeah.
a vampire.
yeah.
Because
she'd
that
have
makes
to-
her do
she'd
a
have to
thing.
she'd have to have succeeded in a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I'll do that
just
on
see
her
what the
turn,
damage would
so I
be.
can do it. Yeah, go ahead and roll your
Oh,
damage in case.
come on.
Victor, what will you?
And
Are
it's
you
not letting me do it.
Are you continuing to sit on the rooftop at this time?
For the moment.
Okay. While Sylvia's trying to get her spell to work, Vlad, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You recognize
Just
that
gonna
she
roll the dice
attempted
directly.
to command you.
Vlad is going to cast Bless on himself, Dirok, and Apotus.
Okay, so they get an additional
Let's use that
D4
symbol.
on saves and attacks. All right, very
And then
good.
he's going to take out his mace and put it directly in her face and say, "You are under arrest for the support of the devil." And he would beckon to the guards right here. You will lay down. Well, you will kneel.
Why were we?
Why are you?
They don't
are
have
you,
any weapons.
Who are you commanding to kneel?
I am pointing. I'm not actually. I can't cast another spell because it just casts guidance.
That's right. That's
But
what
I'm
saying.
commanding this person to kneel.
Okay,
The
but you're not using.
Watcher.
Yeah, you're just trying to.
No, I'm not using.
Intimidate her into.
It's more like intimidation than anything else.
Okay, very good. And I need.
Do you want me to actually roll that or no?
No, because that would be another action, so you really can't.
Okay,
let
so,
me
yeah.
get commoner sheet up here so that I can roll for the mob rule over here. That is throwing things at. One attack on each of these guys.
Look at them 20s.
And the
Yes.
mob,
Yes.
the Henrik takes 2 bludgeoning damage. Strozny takes 2 bludgeoning damage, and For right now, the Baron has not been injured. Henrik looks in
That's okay.
bad shape.
Good. Very
You
good.
had a
Strozny does
victory. You
not.
had a victory.
Well, it's not a victory if he's still alive.
We
So.
kind of need Strozny alive, just saying.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't care about him either. Just the Baron, I guess.
What's Derek doing? And we're gonna end it here as soon as we get down to the bottom of the water.
Yep, Derek's gonna go right up into here and going to intimidate her to follow up on Vlad.
Okay.
So intimidation. 19.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's see what she does.
Surrender or die. And then I just have a big ass
Derek.
half orc behind me.
Yep, Derek says, if you're a minion of Strahd, you will value your life or you will lose it.
And that was the wrong roll. That was a commoner. Let me get the right sheet here.
Oops. Yeah, the Vicious Mockery would have done 2 damage if she fails the Wisdom throw. For whatever reason, the spell on my sheet.
She tied it so she doesn't change. She just like glares back at him, and you've basically got a staring contest. She's apparently pretty intimidating in her own right. Apparently doesn't affect, and she is going.
Hey, Riz.
She is going
Could
to.
you
Yeah.
could you link Charm again? I can't find it in the
Compendium.
She is going
It's under.
One sec.
Go ahead.
It's
Victor.
under vampire. If you look at their abilities.
Let the demon speak.
Sorry.
Take the whisper.
The Lady Voctor casts Sanctuary on herself, and she does a disengage and runs from the crowd, and basically more or less off the map there. But you would be able to chase her if you wanted to. It's clear she's running for her mansion. It's pretty obvious. And the people behind her would attempt to do the same and would follow after. I will say that not all of them perhaps were successful in disengaging. I will give Dirok one. You're in that crowd, yes. I will give Dirok.
Yeah, but I have an attack of opportunity too.
Okay, I'm going to say you, POTUS and Dirok can each take an attack of opportunity on the
What about Vlad?
on the sycophants.
What about her?
No,
Did she just like teleport?
pretty
She
much.
disengaged.
She
Oh,
disengaged.
yeah.
She disengaged with Sanctuary, bonus action. So she is basically safe. But you can
I'm
attack.
useless tonight.
Dirok kills one of the sycophants.
Oh,
Yeah.
please get to my turn. I have something that I want to do so badly.
The remainder attempt to follow after her. Sylvia, are you doing anything?
I'm going to persuade. I'm gonna yell back at the mob and try to persuade and go, "Hey,
No.
hey guys,
No. Stop it.
we got a mansion for you to burn down. This bitch is working for Strahd."
Give me your roll. Let's see if they are. It's
Yee.
going to be a bit of disadvantage
I
because
hate you.
I'm
I
going
hate
to
you so
say-
much.
I'm going to say you persuaded about half of them to stop throwing rocks. Up
Yes.
to 3. The other 3 started. The other group, the other half, start waving their arms and heading off down the street towards Voctor House. POTUS.
I am going. How about how far away is she from me?
Probably 30 feet.
Okay, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna move as close as I need to, and I'm gonna compel Duel to keep her right with me.
Oh,
So she needs to make a Wisdom save, and if she fails the Wisdom save, she is compelled to face me and can't move more than 30 feet away from me.
Your DC.
13.
Around now, Victor is going to start heading back
She
towards the
rolled a
square.
15.
And then so in that case, he's going to keep going, run right up to her, and he's going to smack her.
Okay. She has
And then he's going to divine
sanctuary.
smite.
Yeah, her sanctuary protects her a little bit. What is the limitations on
Oh. So do I need?
Wisdom.
I think I need to make a wisdom save before I can do that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I'm reading it. Just a minute. Ward a
Check.
creature
Well,
within range.
DM knows
against-
what she's got.
Yeah, within range against attack until it ends. Any creature who targets her must make a wisdom save, and her DC was 13, I believe it was. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it with sanctuary? Do I even have to target her with? I have to target. I have to do the save before I can even target her with the spell, right?
No, once you target her, you must make the save. You actually save. So you are able.
Yeah. So
You actually
to
hit
smack
her.
her?
Yep, you hit her. So go ahead and make your. Oh, you have made your. Or is the longsword your attack? Yeah. All right. So you did 12 plus 6 is 18 damage on her. She's still alive, but boy, you really knocked a hole in her.
halt now, you damn witch!
And we
Does
will
she
leave
seem
it
like
there.
she's regenerating?
No, she does not. She
Well,
seems
she
to
didn't
have
take the
taken.
+5 to undead, so.
Yeah, she did not. She does not seem to be recuperating from these hits that she's taken.
Yeah.
This is where we will
So
leave
yeah.
it for next week. You have now. You've managed or been part of a revolution in Vallaki. We'll see what goes on.
Revolution,
We will take
riot,
control.
takeover.
Military takeover.
Yeah, I'm actually tempted for some of us to disengage from this and head back to the church. Like, I have bad feeling.
I'm just happy I didn't get lynched.
I'm just happy I caused a mob.
So wait, so what happened when you got grabbed to go get taken away?
Basically, they were just trying to get him out of the melee, and he was the closest one to them. And they ran up. He was blending into the crowd where they were, and they just basically said, "Come on, let's get out of here." They looked like they had his best interests at heart. Were trying to get him out of the mess.
Okay, so those are definitely people of interest that we want to go back to and be like, so, sup?
Well, those were the Mardikovs, the people from the inn.
Yeah, and they seem to
Oh,
be.
what? Oh,
yeah,
that's the people
the
from the inn?
Mardikovs. Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't keep track of names.
Yeah, all these
Like,
names.
You're a wolfhead guy
We
that
need to
gets a
give
bunch
you
of
a
steak.
program.
We like you.
Yeah, we need to give you all a program so you know who all the players are.
Yeah.
Thank you all for the evening, and thank anyone who tuned in for all of this. I hope you enjoyed your first evening with the Crone's Crucible. We will be back again next week to see where this takes us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun. I'm glad